Let's go ahead and practice adding fractions that have common denominators together. If you'd like a free download of this PDF, feel free to find it in the description box below. You can print it out and we can do these problems together. Let's jump right into it. For number 1, we have the fraction 3/5 plus 1/5. So remember, we can add and subtract fractions when the denominators are the same. So if these both have fifths on bottom, we are good to go. So we can just write these both over 5, and we can just write 3 plus 1 together and just combine the numerators. Just leave the denominator alone each time. So the 5 is going to stay the same on the bottom, 3 plus 1 on top is going to be 4, and that's going to be the answer. Okay? Check to see if you can simplify this, but we can't, so we are all done. For number 2, we have 2/7 plus this 3/7. So if we go ahead and do this, then we know we're going to be dealing with sevenths the whole time here. So we can just go ahead and copy and paste this essentially and write that our answer is going to be in sevenths. Now 2 plus 3 on top is going to be 5. So we'll write 2 plus 3 and just write 5. Now 5 and 7 don't have a GCF, so that can't be simplified either. So this would be our final answer. For number 3, we have this 4/10 plus 3/10. So look at the bottom here, we have tenths and we have more tenths. So let's just go ahead and write this and this as well. We're dealing with tenths the entire way, so we'll just go ahead and copy and paste that. 4 plus 3 is going to go on top here, and 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 and 10 have nothing in common, so that is all done. For number 4, we have this 3/8 plus 1/8, so we have common denominators, which is nice. We go ahead and write our fraction bar. We know we're going to be dealing with eighths the whole time, so let's go ahead and put that on bottom. So we're just going to go ahead and add the numerators of 3 plus 1, that's going to be 4. But keep in mind that we can simplify this thing. Remember, if you look at their prime factorizations, 4 is the same thing as 2 times 2, and 8 is equivalent to 2 times 2 times 2. So we can go ahead and cancel out a 2 on top and bottom, another 2 on top and bottom. So essentially, this is just 1/2. Okay, so sometimes you can simplify if you check their GCFs. If you can do that without writing the prime factorizations, that is also really good. Okay, looking at number 5, looks like we have 15ths and more 15ths. So let's go ahead and see what we got here. So we know we can combine these because they have common denominators. Let's see what we got here. We have 15ths on bottom, and then on top we have 4 plus 2, right? So 4 plus 2 is going to be equal to 6. Okay, then we got to check, can we simplify this? Well, 6 is the same thing as 2 times 3, right? And what's 15 the same thing as? 15 is 3 times 5, so yes, we can simplify this, right? So 3 and 3 are going to cross cancel because 3 over 3 is just equal to 1. And so 2/5 would be our final answer here. Okay, don't forget to always check to see if they have a GCF. For number 6, we have 12ths here, so we have 12ths and then more 12ths. And so if we go ahead and add these, we can go ahead and put them both over 12, just like this. Then we have what on top? We have 7 plus 1. 7 plus 1 is equal to 8. And I think 8 and 12 have something in common. What is 8 made up of? 8 is made up of 2, 2, and 2. Hopefully that becomes a little bit more familiar. And 12 is 2, 2, and 3. So they both have a 2 in common. They both have another 2 in common. So if you go ahead and simplify this, this is just 2/3. Okay, moving on to 7 and 8. For number 7, we're dealing with 16ths here. Go ahead and add these. We can combine 16ths and 16ths. On top we have 5 plus 3. That's going to equal 8. And what does this break down into? Well, 8 we've actually seen a few times now. 2, 2, and 2. And 16 is just another 2, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we can go ahead and cross off 1 on top, 1 on bottom, 1 on top, 1 on bottom, and a third. So altogether, if there's nothing left on top, it's just a 1. So 8/16 is indeed equal to a half. All right. Looking at number 8, we have 21 on the bottom, 21 on the bottom. Let's go ahead and combine these right away. 21 is going to be the common denominator. Very nice. Later on, these do get a little bit more work just because they have uncommon denominators, but we'll deal with that in another video. 8 plus 6 is 14. Okay, so 14 over 21, can that be simplified? Yeah, probably, right? 14 breaks into 2 times 7, and 21 breaks into 3 times 7. Okay, so these 7s can cancel out with each other, and we're just left with 2/3. That's it. Okay, so again, common denominators, add the fractions on top, the numerators specifically, and then see if you can find a GCF, and simplify. All right, we got 18ths here, and so let's go ahead and make our fraction bar. We can combine. We know we're gonna have 18ths all the way across. And then what do we have on top? We have 5 plus 7. Let's go ahead and write 5 plus 7. 5 plus 7 is 12. And what does 12 break into and 18 break into? They definitely have something in common. Let's do 2, 2, and 3 on top. And 18 is gonna be 2, 3, and 3. And then we can cross out a 2, and then a 3. And looks like we have 2/3. Cool. For number 10, looks like we have tenths. A little coincidence there. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and draw this, and then this. Let's keep the 10s on bottom, nice and easy. On top we have 4 plus 4, that's equal to 8. And then I think they have something in common, right? 8 is 2, 2, and 2, and 10 is just 2 and 5. What do they have in common? They both have a 2, I think that's it. So we're left with 4/5. Their GCF for top and bottom was 2. For 11, let's see what we got here. We got 6ths. Okay, so let's go ahead and draw this. Okay, and over here, if you're doing a 6 all the way across, what's 5 plus 3? Oh, this is the first time it's gonna go above the denominator, so this is an improper fraction. 5 plus 3 is gonna equal 8. That's okay. And let's see, we can go ahead and break down this 8 into 2, 2, and 2, and break the 6 into 2 and 3. And again, you can cross out the same thing top and bottom. So we can write our final answer as 4/3, or you can also write 1 and 1/3 if you prefer to write it as a mixed number, but both of them are good. For number 12, we're dealing with 7ths here, so we have a 7th on bottom for both of these. Let's go ahead and add these. Keep the 7. 4 plus 6 is equal to 10. Oh, that's kind of nice. We don't have to simplify. If you want to write it as a mixed number though, 7 goes into 10 one time with 3 left over. So you can write 1 and 3/7. But you don't have to if you don't want to. That's going to be 1 and 3/7. Okay, let's go up to number 13. For number 13, we're dealing with 8ths here. So let's look at these 8ths. And let's see what we got here. We have a 5 and a 7 on top. Just thinking what's 7 plus 5? 7 plus 5 is going to equal 12, okay? And so what does 12 break into? 12 is 2, 2, and 3. And then 8, 8's a pretty common number, I guess, right? 2, 2, 2. They both have a 2, cancel them out. They have another 2, cancel them out. Looks like this is the same thing as 3/2, which is an improper fraction. You can also write that as 1.5 if you would like, same thing. For number 14, we're dealing with 7ths. Okay, so let's go ahead and combine these. They're good to go from the start with common denominators. So put the 7, put another 7. 15 plus 9 is equal to what? 15 plus 9, think about it. That's 24, 24/7. I think that's actually gonna be done here, right? If you wanna write it as a mixed number though, 7 goes into 24, 7, 14, 21. That's 3 times with 3 left over. So 3 and 3/7. Okay. Last couple, let's go to 15. We are dealing with 9ths, so we have 9 here and a 9 here. So let's get these set up with the common denominator. Let's put a 9 down here and a 9 down here. What's 7 plus this 35? Think about it as you're writing it. 7 plus 35, that is 42. Okay, and so that would be our final answer, unless they have something in common. Let's see here. They think they have something in common in there. So 42 breaks into 2 times 21, right? But 21 breaks into 3 times 7, and 9 breaks into 3 times 3. Okay, so they both have a 3 hidden inside there. And so 7 times 2 on top is 14, and then we're left with a 3 on bottom, so that's gonna stay. So we have 14/3. And as a mixed number, 3 goes into that, 3, 6, 9, 12, that's 4 times. So 4 and then 2/3. Okay, and for this last one, we're dealing with 5ths here. So let's go ahead and keep the same denominator. So let's keep the 5ths down here. And let's see what on top it's going to be. We have 14 plus 19. So think about what that's gonna be. 14 plus 19, I think that's 33, right? Double check. 5's prime, I don't think it's going to have any common factors with the 33, right? So I think we're going to be done there. But as a mixed number, just in case, we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That's going to be 6 times with 3 left over, so 6 3/5. All right, so there you have 16 different practice problems. So when you're adding fractions, make sure they have common denominators, and that denominator should stay the same throughout. And then afterwards, just add the numerators, and then see if you have any GCFs to simplify. Hopefully you feel a little bit better about adding fractions, especially with common denominators. As always, keep up the great work, and I will see you in the next one.